princes of the land, I have had the thought to go to the gods' temples, bringing in my hands garlands and gifts of incense, as you see. For Oedipus excites himself too much at every sort of trouble, not conjecturing like a man of sense what will be from what was, and he is always at speaker's mercy when he speaks of terrors. I can do no good by my advice, and so I come as suppliant to you, Lycian Apollo, who are nearest. These are the symbols of my prayer, and this my prayer. Grant us escape free of the curse. Now when we look to him, we are all afraid. He is pilot of our ship, and he is frightened.
Might I learn from you, sirs, where's the house of Oedipus? Or best of all, where's the king himself?
This is the house. He is within doors. This woman is his wife and mother of his children.
God bless you, lady. And God bless your household. God bless Oedipus's noble wife.
God bless you, sir, for your kind greeting. What do you want that you have come here? What have you to tell us?
Good news, lady, for your household and for your husband.
Who sent you to us? What is your news?
I come from Corinth. The news I bring will give you pleasure, perhaps a little pain too.
What is this news of double meaning?
The people of Isthmus will choose Oedipus to be their king.
Is that the truth? Isn't their king still old Polybus?
No, death has got him.
Is that the truth? Is Oedipus's father dead?
May I be dead myself if it be otherwise.
Be quick and run to the king with this news. Oh, oracles of the gods, where are you now? It was from this man that Oedipus fled, lest he should be his murderer. Now he is killed in the course of nature, not killed by Oedipus.
Dearest Jocasta, why have you sent for me?
Listen to this man, and when you hear, reflect what is the outcome of the holy oracles of the gods.
Who is he? What is his message for me?
He is from Corinth, and he tells us that your father, old Polybus, is dead and gone.
What's this you say, sir? Tell me yourself.
Since this is the matter you want clearly told, Polybus has gone to death, you may be sure of it.
By treachery or sickness?
A small thing will put old bodies asleep.
He dies of sickness, it seems. Poor old man.
Yes, and the long years he has measured.
Oh, Jocasta, why should one look to the Pythian herd? Why should one look to the birds screaming overhead? They prophesy that I shall kill my father, but he's dead and hidden deep in earth. And I stand here who never laid a hand on the spear against him. Unless perhaps he died of longing for me, and thus I am his murderer. But they, the oracles, as they stand, he's taken them away with him. They're dead as he himself is, and worthless.
Oh, this I told you before now.
You did, but I was misled by my fear.
Then lay no more of them to heart, not one.
But surely I must fear my mother's bed.
Why should man fear? Since chance is all in all for him, and he can clearly foreknow nothing. Best to live lightly, as one can, unthinkingly, as to your mother's marriage bed. Do not think on it. Before this, in dreams as well as oracles, many a man has lain with his own mother. But he to whom such things are nothing lives his life most easily.
All would be perfectly said if she was dead. But since she lives, I still must fear. Although you talk so well, Jocasta.
Still in your father's death is there no light of comfort?
A great light of comfort, but I fear the living.
Who's the woman that makes you afraid?
Marry the old man. Polybus' wife.
What about her frightens you and the queen?
A terrible oracle, stranger. From the gods.
Can it be told? Or does some sacred law forbid another to have knowledge of it?
Oh, no. Once on a time, Loaxa said that I shall lay with my own mother and take on my hands the blood of my own father. And so for these long years I lived away from Corinth. It has been to my great happiness, but yet it is sweet to see the face of parents.
This was the fear that drove you from Corinth.
Yes, old man, I did not wish to kill my father.
Why should I not free you from this fear, sir, since I have come here in all goodwill?
You would not find me thankless if you did.
Why, it was just for this that I have come. To earn your thanks and for you to come home safe.
No. I would not come near my parents.
Son, it is very plain you don't know what you're doing.
Look, what do you mean, old man? For God's sakes, tell me.
If your homecoming is checked by fears like these.
Yes. I'm afraid that Phoebus may prove right.
The murder? And the incest?
Yes, old man, that is my constant terror.
Do you know that all your fears are empty?
How was that?
Because
they are father and mother and I their son.
Polybus was no kin to you in blood.
What? Polybus not my father?
No more than I, just so much.
How can my father be my father as much as one that's nothing to me?
Neither he nor I begot you.
Why then did he call me son?
A gift. He took you from these hands of mine.
Was I a gift he took or bought when I was found?
On Citharon slopes, in the twisted thickets you were found.
And why were you a traveler in those parts?
I was in charge of the mountain flocks.
You were a shepherd. A hireling vagrant.
Yes, but at the time the man who saved your life.
What ailed me when you took me in your arms?
In that your ankles should be witnessed. The tendons of your feet were pierced and fettered.
Why do you speak of that old pain? My swaddling clothes were a rare disgrace.
So that from this, you are called your present name.
But was this my father's doing or my mother's? For God's sake, tell me.
I don't know. But he who gave you to me has more knowledge than I.
You yourself did not find me, then you took me from someone else.
Yes, from another shepherd.
Is he alive, sir, so that I can see him?
You who live here would know best.
Do any of you here know of this man whom he mentions in the town or in the fields? Tell me! It's time that this was found out once and for all.
I think he is none other than the shepherd whom you sought to see already. Jocasta here can tell us more of that.
Jocasta. Jocasta. Do you know of this man whom we have sent for? Is he the man he mentions?
Why ask of whom he spoke? Do not give it heed, nor try to keep in mind what has been said. It will be wasted labor.
With such clues I could fail to bring my birth to light.
Do not help us out. I beg of you, if you have any care for your own life, what I am suffering isn't.
Keep up your heart, Jocasta. Though I proved a slave, thrice slave, and my mother thrice slave, you will not be shown to be of lowly lineage.
Oh, be persuaded by me! Do not do this. Oh, I entreat you.
I will not be persuaded till let me the chance of finding out the whole thing clearly.
It is because I wish you well that I give you this counsel, and it is the best counsel.
Then the best counsel vexes me, and it asks for some wild sense.
Oh. God help you. God keep you from the knowledge of who you are. So, Oedipus,
I'm afraid that trouble will break out of this silence.
Break out what will. I at least shall be willing to see my ancestor no humble. Perhaps she's ashamed of my low birth, for she has all a woman's high-flown pride. But I account myself a child of fortune, beneficent fortune, and I shall not be dishonored. She's the mother from whom I spring. The months, my brothers, mark me, now is small, and now again is mighty. And such is my breeding, and I shall never prove so false to it, as not to find the secret of my birth.
If I am a prophet and wise of heart, you shall not fail, Citharon. You shall not. To know that at tomorrow's full moon, Oedipus honors you as both native to him and mother and nurse alike, and that you are honored in dancing by us, as finding favor in the sight of our king. Apollo, to whom we cry, find these things pleasing. Who does adore you, child? One of the long-lived nymphs who lay with Pan, the father who treads these hills, or was she a bride of Loxias, your mother? The grassy slopes are all of them dear to him. Or perhaps Selene's king, or the Bacchante's god who lives on tops of these hills, received you as a gift from some one of the Helicon nymphs with whom he mostly plays.
If someone like myself shall make a guess, I think this is the herdsman whom we were seeking. His old age is consonant with the other. You perhaps may better me in knowledge, since you've seen the men before.
You can be sure I recognize him. If ever Laius had an honest shepherd, this was he.
You, sir, from Corinth. I must ask you first. Is this the man you spoke of?
This is he, before your eyes.
Old man, look here at me and tell me what I ask you. Were you ever a servant to King Laius?
I was no slave he bought, but reared in his own house.
What did you do as work? How did you live?
Most of my life was spent among the flocks.
In what part of the country did you live?
Citharon. The place is near Troy.
And somewhere there perhaps you knew this man.
was his occupation? Who?
This man here. Have you had any dealings with him?
No. Not such that I can quickly call to mind.
It is no wonder, master. But I'll make him remember what he does not already know. For I know that he well knows of the country of Citharon. How he with 2 flocks and I with 1 kept company each year. From each year, half a year from spring until autumn time. And then when winter came, I went back to my fold home, and he delays his standing. Well, am I not right in what I say we did?
You're right. All those long time ago.
Do you remember? Giving me a foster child to raise as my own.
What's this? Why do you ask this question?
Look, old man. Here he is. This man is that same child.
Talk to gratify me, you'll talk with pain to urge you.
Oh, sir, please. Please don't hurt an old man, sir.
Here, one of you, twist his hands behind him.
God, help me, wise. What do you want to know?
You gave a child to him, the child he asked of you.
I did. I died the day that I did.
You will, unless you tell me true.
I'll die for I worship what you're telling you.
This fellow was bent on
No! I told you I gave it.
You gave a child to him. Where did you get it from? Was it your own, or did you get it from another?
I had it from someone.
From one of these citizens here, or from what house?
Oh, Pastor, please. I beg you. Don't ask me again.
If I ask you again, you are a dead man.
Is one of the children of life
A slave, or born in wedlock.
Oh, God. I am on the brink of frightful speech.
I am a frightful hearing, but I was here.
The child was his child! But she within. Your wife should tell you how this thus was.
She gave it to you?
Yes, she did, my lord.
To do what with?
To make away with me.
She was so hard, its own mother.
I, through the fear of evil.
Which?
Wait! She said he should kill his parents!
Then how was it that you gave it to this old man?
Master, I paid it! And I thought I could send it off to another country! And this man was from another country! But he saved it from the most terrible troubles. If you are the man he says you are, you're bred to misery.
Oh, they will all come. They will all come out clearly. Light of the sun, let me look upon you no more after today. I who first saw the light of a match, accursed and accursed in my living. With them I live with, cursed in my killing!
generations of men. How I count you as equal with those who live not at all. What man on earth brings more of happiness than receiving and then turning it away? Oedipus, you are my pattern of this. Oedipus, you and your fate. Luckless Oedipus, whom of all men I envy not at all, inasmuch you shot your bolt beyond the rest, and won the prize of happiness complete, and killed and reduced to naught the hooked talon made of the riddling speech, standing as a tower against death for my land. Hence you became my king. Hence you were honored the highest of all honors, and hence you ruled the great city of Thebes. But now whose tale is more miserable? Who is there lives with a savager fate? Whose troubles so reverse his life as his? Oedipus, famous prince, whom of a great have both the same as father and son sufficed for generation. How have the furrows plowed by your father endured to bear you, poor wretch, and held their peace so long? Time, who sees all, has found you out against your will, judges your marriage accursed, begetter and begot at one in it. Child of Laius, would I had never known you. I weep for you. I cry a dirge of lamentation, inasmuch I drew my breath from you at the first, and so now I must lull my mouth to sleep with your name.
Oh, princes, always honored by our country, what deeds you'll hear, and what horrors see, if you, as true-born Thebans, care for the house of Jocasta's sons. Fastus, nor Eyster cannot purge this house. I think which such imprecations, such evils it hides, and will be brought forth into the light, and troubles hurt most when they prove self-inflicted.
What we had known before did not fall short of bitter groaning's worth. What's more to tell?
Shortest to hear or tell, the glorious Queen Jocasta's dead.
Miserable woman.
How? By her own hand. The worst of what was done, you cannot know, you did not see the sight. Yet, insofar as I remember it, you'll hear the end of our unlucky queen. When she came raging into the house, she went straight to her marriage bed, crying upon Laius long dead. Do you remember Laius? That night, long past, which bred a child for us, to send you to your death and leave a mother making children with her own son? Then she groaned and cursed the bed in which she brought forth husband by her husband, children by her own child, an infamous double bond. How after that she died, I do not know. For Oedipus distracted us from seeing. He burst upon us shouting, begging us always, "Give me a sword, I say, to find this one. No wife. This mother's womb. This field of double swooning whence I sprung and where I sowed my children." As he raved, some god showed him the way, none of us there, and billowing terribly, and led by some invisible god, he rushed the two doors, wrenching the hollow bolts out of their sockets. He charged inside, and there he saw her, hanging, the twisted rope around her neck. And when he saw her, he cried out fearfully, cutting the dangling noose. And then, as she lay, on the ground, what happened after was terrible to see. He tore the brooches, the golden chased brooches, fastening her robe, and lifting them high, he dashed them on his own eyeballs, shrieking out such things as they will never see the crime I have committed or have done upon me. Dark eyes. Now, in days to come, do not recognize whom you long for. With such imprecations, he struck his eyes again and again with the brooches. No sluggish, oozing drops, but a black rain and bloody hail poured down. So it is broken. And not one, but troubles mixed for both husband and wife. The fortune of the day is gone. But true, good fortune. But today, death, destruction, guilt, and shame. And not one is missing.
Is he now at any ease from pain?
He shouts for someone to unbar the doors and show him to all the men of Thebes. His father's killer, his mother's... I cannot say a word. It is unholy. He'll cast himself out of the land, he says. He said this in his proclamation. But he wants for strength and for someone to guide him. His sickness is too great to bear. Soon you too will be shown that. Oh, the bolts are opening. Soon you will see a sight to awaken pity, even at the horror of it.
This is a terrible sight for men to see. I've never found it worse. Poor wretch. What madness came upon you? What evil spirit leapt upon your life to your ill luck, beyond all men's strength? I pity you. But I cannot look upon you. Though there is much I want to ask, much I want to learn, much I want to see. I shudder at the sight of you.
Oh, where am I going? Where is my voice borne on the wind to and fro? Spirit, how far have you sprung?
To a terrible place, whereof men's ears may not hear, nor their eyes behold it.
Darkness. Horror of darkness enfolding. Madness and stabbing pain in memory of evil deeds I have done.
In such misfortunes, it's no wonder the devil weighs the burden of your grief.
My friend, you are the only steadfast, the one that attends on me. You still stay nursing the blind man. I can know your voice, although this darkness is my world.
Doer of dreadful deeds, how did you dare to do despite to your own eyes? What spirit urged you to it?
It was Apollo, friend. Apollo that brought this bitterness. My sorrows to completion. But the hand that struck me was none but my own. Why should I see whose vision showed me nothing sweet to see?
These things are as you say.
What can I see to love? What greetings can touch my ears with joy? Take me away in haste to the place out of the way. Take me away, my friend, the greatly miserable, the most accursed, whom God too hates above all men on earth.
Unhappy in your mind and your misfortune. Would I had never known you.
Curse on the man who took the cruel bonds from off my legs as I lay in the field. He stole me from death and saved me no kindly service. Had I died then, I would not be so burdensome to friends.
Not you could have wished I had been so.
Then I would not have come to kill my father and marry my mother infamously. Now I am godless and child of impurity, begetter in the same seed that created my wretched self. If there is any ill worse than ill, that is the lot of Oedipus.
I cannot say your remedy was good. You would be better dead than blind and living.
What I have done here was best done. Don't tell me otherwise. Do not give further counsel. I do not know with what eyes I can look upon my father when I die and go under the earth. Nor my wretched mother. Those two to whom I have done things deserving worse punishment than hanging. With the sight of children bred as mine gladden me. No, not these eyes, never. In my city, its towers and sacred places of the gods, these I robbed my miserable self of when I commanded all to drive him out. The criminal since proved by God impure and of the race of ladies. To this guilt I bear witness against myself. With what eyes shall I look upon my people? No. If there were means to choke the fountain of hearing, I would have stayed my hands from locking up my miserable carcass, from seeing and hearing nothing. It's sweet to keep your thoughts out of the range of hurt. Citharon, why did you receive me? Why, having received me, did you not kill me straight, so that I would not have shown my birth to men? Oh, Polybus, and Corin, and the old house. The old house that I used to call my father's. What fairness were you nursed to, and what foulness festered beneath. Now I am found to be a sinner and a son of sinners. Crossroads and hidden glade. Oak. And the narrow way at the crossroads that drank my father's blood, offered to you by my hands. Do you remember what I did as you looked on? And what I did when I came here? Oh, marriage! Marriage! You bred me, and again you bred your own child and shown to men, brides, wives, and mothers the foulest deeds that can be done in this world of ours. Come. It's unfit to say what's unfit to do. Look, I beg of you in God's name, hide me somewhere outside your country. Yes, or kill me, or throw me into the sea to be forever out of your sight. Approach and deign to touch me. And do not fear no man. No, but I can bear my evil doom.
Here Creon comes. In fit time to perform or do of what you ask of us. Creon is left as sole ruler in your stead.
Creon. What shall I say to him? How can I justly hope that he will trust me? In what is past, I have proved towards him an utter liar.
Oedipus? I've come not so that I might laugh at you, nor taunt you with evil of the past, but if you still are without shame before the face of men, reverence at least the flame that gives a life, our Lord the Sun, and do not show unveiled to him pollution such that neither land, nor holy ray, nor light of day can welcome. Be quick and take him in. 'Tis most decent that only kin should see and hear the troubles of kin.
I beg you, since you've torn me from my most dreadful expectations, and have come to a man in the most noble spirit that has used you vitally, do a thing for me. I shall speak for your own good and not my own.
What do you need that you would ask of me?
Drive me from here with all the speed you can to where I may not hear a human voice.
Be sure, I would have done this had not I wished first of all to learn from the God the course of action I should follow.
But his words are quite clear, to let the parasite, the sinner, die.
Yes, that indeed was said, but in the present need we have best discover what we should do.
And will you ask about a man so wretched?
Now even you will trust the God.
So, I command you, and I beseech you. To her that lies inside that house, give burial as you would have it. She is yours, and rightly you will perform the rites for her. For me, never let this my father's city have me living a dweller in it. Leave me live in the mountains where Citharon is. That's called my mountain, which my father and mother, while they were living, would have made my tomb, so I may die by their decree, who indeed sought to kill me. Yet I know this much. No sickness or no other thing will ever kill me. I have not been saved from death, if not for some strange, evil fate. Well, let my fate go where it will. Creon, you need not care about my sons. They're men. And wherever they are, they would not lack a livelihood. But my two girls, so sad and pitiful, whose table never stood apart from mine, and everything I touched they always shared. Oh, Creon, have a thought for them. And I wish most that you might suffer me, and let me touch them in sorrow with them. Oh my God. Oh, true noble Creon. Yes, I can hear them sobbing. My two darlings. And has Creon had pity on me and sent me what I love most, am I right?
You're right. It was I gave you all this because I knew from the old days how much you loved them as I see now.
God bless you for it, Creon. And may God guard you better on your road than he did me. Oh, children, where are you? Come here. Come to my hands. Brother's hands, which turned your father's eyes. Those bright eyes you once knew, to what you now see. A brother seeing nothing, knowing nothing, begetting you from his own source of life. I weep for you. I cannot see your faces. I weep when I think of the bitterness that will be in your lives, and how you must live before the world. And what assemblages will you go in gay company and not come home in tears instead of sharing in the holiday? When you're ripe for marriage, who will he be the man who will risk to take such infamy
I shall to cling to my children, to bring hurt on them, and those that will marry them. No one, children. What insult is there? Your father killed his father and sowed the seed where he had sprung himself, and begot you out of the womb that held him. These are the insults you will hear. And who will marry you, children? No one. No one. Clearly you are doomed to waste away in barrenness, unmarried. Son of Menocius, since you are all the father left at these two children, and we, their parents, both are dread to them, do not allow them to wander like beggars, poor and husbandless. They are of your own blood. Save you only. Touch my hand, noble Creon, and say yes. If you are older children and wiser, there's much advice I'd give you. But as it is, be this what you pray. Give me a life where there is opportunity to live. And better than was my father's.
Your tears have had enough of scope. Now go within the house.
I shall obey, though of bitter of heart.
In season all is good.
Do you know on what conditions I obey?
You tell me them, and I shall know them when I hear.
That you shall lead me to live away from Thebes.
That gift you must ask of the god.
But I'm now hated by the gods.
So quickly, you'll obtain your prayer.
You consent then.
What I do not mean, I do not use to say.
Now lead me away from here.
Let go the children then and come.
Don't take them from me, no.
Do not seek to be master in everything. For the things you mastered before did not follow you throughout your life.
You who live in my ancestral Thebes, behold this. Oedipus. He who knew the famous riddles. He who was man most masterful. Not a citizen among his people did not look with envy upon his lot. Look upon that day always. Count no mortal happy until he has passed beyond the final limit of his life. Secure from pain.